no matter which generation of junglers we're talking about, he's always there, he's always at the top, and he's always difficult to take down.
Wait, this is us! Oh my god, it's Croatian flag and us. Oh my god, it's us again, guys.
Oh my god, it's the MSI trophy, no way!
Oh my god,
it's Sjokz with more hair.
Oh, true.
But there's no follow-up. Odo Omnin was already out there. He might get the reset onto Yangos, but Perks comes in and makes it messier. Odo with another one in the back, and boy, oh boy, are we doing the switcheroo. They expose the Nexus. How clean is this for his 600th game? He didn't need to sweat.
And welcome back to the LEC stage as we get ready for the 4th game of the day. But before that, I'm here on stage with Wunder, who grabbed their 2nd victory for Team Heretics here in Winter Split 2024. Thank you so much for joining me. With the mic, I think it's going to
Thank you.
How was it today compared to yesterday and the progression from the beginning of the week till this game today? How do you reflect on what happened?
I mean, obviously, our split started with a really rough game.
Yeah.
So there was not really much to take away from the game either. We tried something in draft. We got maybe caught a bit off guard, right? And we got punished for it. And yeah, I mean, we didn't really want the same things to repeat. I do think we play a little bit weirder on stage. There's like definitely some things we do that are not really like that good and optimized yet, and that we need to work on. But I'd say it's good to be cautious week 1 and just take the easy wins, and I don't want to have a repeat of when I was in Fnatic in Winter and actually not even make it. So hopefully with this roster we can make it through to the next playoffs.
I mean, that's the goal, at least when you see the experience within the roster. You were saying that there's some stuff that go in scrims and that don't translate to stage results, which is surprising given the experience within the players. How do you explain this? Not used to playing together?
I mean, obviously we have people that have played together before, but it's also been a long time, and a lot of people change the way you want to play the game, and everything kind of changes, and we just have to get used to each other. I don't think it's a given that we are like mega in sync just because we have played together for so long in the past. We are all here to prove ourselves regardless of our past success or anything, and just try to be able to compete and be the best again, you know. And yeah, we don't really let our past successes get in our head too much.
I mean, that's the thing, and I think it's important because you got success in the past, but I feel like you all evolved since then, playing with different players in different circumstances. Why did you think it was a good idea to get back together with Perks and Jankos?
I mean, I'm obviously, I always had contacts with, well, my old teammates on G2, and we obviously talk to each other, and we are good friends, and it just happened to line up in a way where we've all, I guess, us, like me, Jankos, and Perks, have had not the greatest success recently, and it just lined up that we could, yeah, reunite on paper weaker team, and hopefully we will make them great, you know.
Avengers assemble. We'll see what happens for you guys. I want to focus on the next game we have, as it's been war on social media and everywhere since the beginning of the day, as we have Mad Lions Koi taking on Karmine Corp in the next match. Who's going to win? I'm throwing you under the bus with this one.
I'm obviously on a Spanish team myself. I will say though that if I had to guess based on like the strength of the teams, I would probably say K-Corp wins.
Right.
But we did get smashed by Matt, right? So me standing here saying that, it's like, I don't really know. I just really hope for a good game. I mean, I know the fans are really excited for this, and probably people watching from home as well. There's like a lot of backing for both teams. So yeah, hopefully there's no fights in the crowd too much, you know. But I hope people will enjoy the game regardless, and it's not a stomp, hopefully.
All right. Well, thanks for playing along, Wunder, and congrats on 2-1 on the opening week of the LEC. And we're gonna toss it back to Sjokz for the next pre-game. Back to you, dear.
Thank you so much. We've got FLICKR here as well.
No.
I can't believe Wunder was like political in his
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's the
it's
first
crazy.
time ever.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like try-harding. Like he quit WoW, and now he's like mega professional.
Yes.
And I mean, he still plays like solo queue now instead of WoW until like 4 AM probably.
That's good.
But I mean, yeah, I can tell it's like changed. As well, he told me, like in private, like with the team, like right now there's like a war going on between like Spanish and French fans. He's like he's like I mean, he doesn't want to, get in the game. Like, he really doesn't like the Twitter meta right now. I mean, he enjoys it, but he doesn't find like anything like, like funny to tweet or anything.
Oh, he doesn't have inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like Mad Lions, they took the inspiration from us in the first game, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping, I'm hoping that we started playing better because as well we're gonna get like probably some banger tweets from Wunder side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for sure, it's like, I don't know what happened to him, but it's like more like political now, like politically correct.
He's like a sleeping giant. He's
yeah,
gonna,
yeah,
like,
for sure,
wake
for
up
sure.
and
Yeah,
just,
he's for sure like waiting.
We can talk about the next game, but first though, we gotta crown our Kia player of the game, and it was Kaiser. Broxah, Finn, do you think it's deserved?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think both Kaiser and FLICKR here, of course, showed a lot of dominance in the bot lane. And yeah, I'm curious, what do you feel about playing with Kaiser? How's it going for the two of you in bot lane?
I mean, at the beginning, I mean, I think it was like pretty rough for everyone, but as well with Kaiser, like the main issue we had and we still have is that we have like so many voices in game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we are still trying to figure it out. But like with Kaiser, working with him is really easy. He's a really nice guy. I can like talk whatever I want with him. Like, like some days you need to have like these like not so nice talks.
Yeah,
like,
be direct.
It's not like we're like flaming, but like for sure, sometimes we need to like contrast ideas, and sometimes you get into like, I mean, not conflict necessarily, but like maybe one guy disagrees, and you need to find like a mutual ground, or you can like as well like both disagree, but you can like talk to him and work with him, and he's always willing to, like if I'm like, I don't know, like there's like some weird combos and now that people are playing, like I'm seeing like double support item or something, I can just tell him basically to play the shit that I want. I mean, like we tested, it's not like, oh yeah, you're like completely delusional. Like we tried and stuff. So I really, like so far I'm enjoying my time with him.
Cool. Yeah, great game from you guys. Congratulations. That's a pretty good week. But now I just want to talk about the next game.
Yeah.
So Mad Lions Koi up versus KC. Finn, maybe. There's a lot going on there. There's obviously EMEA Masters, Finals history, 3 players left on each team looking for revenge. There's Spain versus France. I want to pull up some tweets as well, but it's I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
No, there's a lot to break down there for sure. I mean, there's only winners to this game, I think, if you're a viewer.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Casey really wants to get this win. They don't want to end on a 0-3. I don't think anyone wants to end the first week on a 0-3. Obviously, Mad has a lot of pride to uphold there, so...
Yeah, let's pull up some tweets. I think we had like a chain between Niski, Elyoya, Kameto, which was pretty good. But FLICKR, have you enjoyed sitting back and just seeing the show? Because you, of course, speak Spanish, so you probably get a little more.
I mean, I didn't go much into Twitter, right? Basically, after getting like 116, I don't think I want to check Twitter.
I'll explain it to you. Okay, so we had Kameto was like, no, we're so embarrassed, like this really sucks. I don't exactly know what this Niski one means. Go dive bot, they won't cover.
I mean, go dive bot, they won't cover.
And then Elyoya say, well, if you only played a little bit better at Worlds, maybe we would have won. And then Yamato just saying that they have everything built up for this match versus the Mad Lions. It's super cool, but as you all have experience being a pro player, how much does that fuel you, Broxah, when someone's just absolutely dissing you on social media?
I mean, I don't know if I've gotten dissed in that sense. I know as a Fnatic player, like going up against G2 always felt special because it was kind of the same rivalry. Like we knew that if we lost to G2, we couldn't open social media for a little while because we were the entire war zone basically. So you really want to win these type of matches.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like so fun. I mean, of course, right? If like you are like K-Corp and you lose, it's probably not gonna be fun.
0-3, that's what.
Yeah, but if you win, this is gonna bang. Like it's gonna bang. I mean, when I was in G2, right, like the matches against Fnatic were like mega hype and banger. And I mean, the team that lost was gonna get, like some social media treatment.
Yeah.
But like, I've never seen something like this. It's just going wild, everything.
Well, I'm gonna give you the treatment as well because I want your prediction, of course. I know you are Spanish, so.
I mean, I really, okay. I was gonna say I really want Mad Lions to win, and I still want them to win.
Okay.
But it's kind of what I said before. Like, if I wanted them to win like 100% after our match, I want them to win like 99%. Because like they really destroyed us, and yeah, I mean on Saturday it just didn't feel good. Like that day didn't bang.
I can imagine. Yeah. I can imagine.
But I mean, I'm for sure like I'm really confident on Alliance. I want them to win, but I think they will win as well. I think both teams are like both centric. Like in the games we're watching, like the 2 games Alliance played. One game it was against us. The bowling, I mean, we kind of lost the game like minute 3, but like they were playing through ball basically. And the game that Mandalay lost is basically SK was destroying bowling as well. And for K-Corp it's kind of the same. Upset and Targa are I mean, they only played Illusion, right? But they're always like ahead in lane. So I mean, for sure it's gonna be a banger on bot lane. Probably there's gonna be like some level 1 action or like level 1 plan behind. But I'm really excited, and I mean, it's gonna bang. It's like I don't know what I say.
No, it's fine. You said plenty, and I think we're super excited for it. I cannot wait to see this match, and I cannot wait to be on Twitter. Excuse me, X for this match. I literally can't wait. But we can't wait either. It's Cabochard. Let's hear about him, about his return to the LEC. I can't wait.
This is great, to be honest. Like I was working in the studios this morning. Just the memories are coming back. It's very pleasant. Yeah, when I think back, 10 years ago, I was trying to qualify for the LCS back then, and now yeah, we've had our time in the EL with Karmine, and we're here to take on the LEC. I mean, this is one of the best parts. The events we're holding, like last year in Bercy or this year in the U Arena, like being able to have such committed fans coming, like 30,000 people watching an event, like it feels very special. For me, it was one of the things that made me want to be a pro player, like playing back then, like in Tenerife, I remember in 2014, or even IEM Katowice, like being in front of this crowd. And with Karmine, it's even more special because all the fans are ultras, like they are very to support the team.
It's big stakes coming into today as we're returning to the arena for what is going to be an awesome grudge match, a hype match. One between Spain and France, it feels like. I mean, of course, with representatives, the crowd has filled out, and the energy here, Dagda, is beyond bonkers.
It does feel like a mini Montpellier where we saw these two teams face off in the EMEA Masters finals.
Right.
It was, well, not quite Mad Lions Koi, but it was the Movistar Riders, which have still 3 of those players, Fresskiowy, Supa and Alvaro.
Yep.
And then on the opposite side as well, Karmine Corp once more coming back in to the LEC. It is going to be an absolute banger. I am so excited to see how these two teams are going to face off against each other.
And it's crazy because it's not like a G2 Fnatic in the sense that, you know, you've got top of the table right now, right? You've got KC and MDK who are in the middle of the pack of teams with mixed expectations, but it's the fact that not only these rivalries come through, it's the fact that these teams, I think, have been performing at decent enough levels. Let me give you an example. KC Dagda, their opening schedule, I think, is what we need to talk about, because G2 and Fnatic, that's how they've been opened in the LEC Winter.
Yeah, and I think they put up good fights, especially in the early stages against teams like G2, but it felt like their mid-game, it came a bit disjointed, and that's where they weren't able to get across the finish line. And on the opposite side for Mad Lions Koi, it was, hey, phenomenal start, game 1, really day good. 1, coming in against Heretics, where they able to find those early invades, get the big lead going, especially playing off Elyoya Xin Zhao. But yesterday we saw him get his hands on the pick once more, wasn't able to find that same success against SK. So both these teams trying to see if they can get one over on each other here.
And that's why I think Elyoya in charge is a big deal for me here today. What does he get given? Of course, the Nocturne to ban away here by Karmine Corp is a big deal as well, considering it's one of the strongest on this patch.
Yeah, I think Cabochard, Saken and Targamas will be very familiar with the way Mad Lions Koi play, though. Like playing down towards Supa and Alvaro in that bottom side of the map, that's where they want to put a lot of their focus. So I think already you're going to see Karmine Corp going, okay, cool, what are things that can be a nuisance when it comes to that jungle route? Trying to get Nocturne into the bottom side, trying to probably get things like the Xin Zhao out of the way as well to make sure that you can't get into that bottom side of the map.
Well, as we look through the bans, I mean, the Rumble being taken away was let through earlier on, but to no longer. I think when you're looking at Myrwn as well, you know, his champion ball can be quite crazy. You've all told me exactly that. I'm curious to see what the legend will be left up to today. Is Kalista double 80 carry ban for Mad Lions to kick us off?
Yeah, there's a LeBlanc gun as well. So things like the Jax, the Ashe, these are the kind of big power picks that we've seen still come through. Varus rising up as kind of that first pick priority.
Yeah.
But again, I think Xin Zhao, especially when I look towards both Bo and Elyoya, these guys who like to get control in that matchup, I think Xin Zhao could be the higher party with Varus, especially taking off the board.
I mean, again, triple 80 carry ban. Dagda hit the nail so nicely, but Xin Zhao's what you've said. I've heard Xin Zhao 3 times now already in this pick and ban, and I'm expecting it to be coming through. Bo is someone I am very familiar with as well. You know, casted his debut. I'm not sure if it was you and me. Might have been you and Munch. Someone did Bo's debut in FPX, right?
Yeah.
Remember the Olaf game?
Oh, yeah.
Absolute crazy, flashing over blind of a red ball. That's the kind of player he is. As we go in a different direction instead, seeing Ashe the first pick ain't what I thought we were going to talk about first.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to be able to flex between Upset and Targamas, but one of the things about Targamas was his flexibility in EMEA Masters. He was kind of the one that piloted things like the Senna alongside that Neil in the bot lane for Karmine Corp, so excited to see him kind of maybe bring this pick in and see if he can find that pressure again on another style of AD carry in that bot lane. The Aphelios taking the opposite side, and the Neeko. So Fresskiowy going back to something that gives him a lot of control and pushing that mid lane. The Aphelios, I think Mad Lions Koi learning from a lot of the other teams. So we've seen the Aphelios just great late game scaling, the ability to team fight. And honestly, I think where Karmine Corp have a weak is that team fight.
Well, on the other side, just a quick note though, while we look at what they're being set up to do, the skirmishing already huge, Dagda, and the takeaway by that Xin Zhao that we so heavily focused on. With the Azir on the other side for Saken, it feels like a safe bet to deny what Mad Lions Koi maybe wanted to do.
I think the question mark now is like, what does Elyoya want to take into the jungle?
A better question, yeah.
I think that's where you're kind of going, hey, look, we've got the Xin Zhao taken. Jax, we saw Bo pilot as the counter pick into it, but I don't think we'll see Elyoya go towards that. It is actually just going to be back to the Sejuani, so same kind of idea that we saw earlier today, or in our last game, which is just, hey, we're going to take the Sejuani. We won't be able to fight as heavily for the 1v1, but when we get to those team fights later, it's going to be fantastic. The only big worry is that you can go for something like an aggressive AD carry for upset. You take the Ashe into support, you got push, you got the potential to invade, and it's kind of like Mad Lions Koi, like day one, what they did could be done to them now coming in for Karmine Corp here.
Yeah, it would be just as that's winning for the team that's 0-2. But again, their strength of schedule is something that needs to be mentioned. Mad, lower expectations, but still the opener was so good. We can talk a lot about that in game. For now, note the Heimerdinger ban down towards bottom side. The Myrwn ban when day one, he also debuted here on the Gwen and had a pretty decent performance. As that's taken away, I wonder if that gives away what Karmine Corp want to do on the top side here, Dagda, as one of the true damage top laners, or the big AP carry tops is taken away.
Yeah, Gwen going to be gone. I think it is probably going to be more tank orientated for Myrwn in that top side though. I think going towards things like the Cassante, maybe even Ornn could be the call here. It actually nearly feels to me like for Karmine Corp, they're kind of setting themselves up to, because they're going to be the ones out to blind pick, right? So maybe they want to try and take away the Cassante themselves on this next rotation. Could you imagine? There's probably going to be a support lock in here, and then you keep the counter pick for Myrwn in that top side. But yeah, I'm curious if they end up taking the, could be Cassante for Cabochard on that top side. We've seen the Renekton, maybe even the Gragas that I think he had a fantastic performance on as well on that day one. So curious to see, and yeah, there we go. It's going to be the Renata in the bot lane, and there's the double AD carry that we were talking about.
Okay, but a big one coming through with the Caitlyn Dagda. I mean, I don't know what you've been cooking in the back end, but you're on top of this once more. Do you think it's going to be tank to the top side for Cabochard as well?
Yeah, I think you go towards something, even if it's a Gragas, not quite a tank, but something like a push, or Cassante here, I think it's going to be totally fine. You try and take the Sejuani out of the fight, but actually no, going to go towards the Jax, so very, very strong pick in the top side. We've seen it countless times, but I think it kind of opens up maybe for Mad Lions to go for the Cassante themselves here for Myrwn and just go, hey look, we are going to play strong front to back, and there's not really a huge amount you can do if we are able to slow down the pace of this game.
Dare I say he's Poppy again? What do you think? Is it taken away? No, it's not. I mean, again, looked good on it the other day. I just had to flex that in. Okay.
Okay, Myrwn, yeah.
We said this guy was cooking. Jamada told me he was in the kitchen. You said this guy head chef. All right, the Gordon Ramsay of League of Legends, apparently. That is an Akali top, right?
Yeah, it's like, you know the way in the the hats, it's each line on it is supposed to be each cuisine that you've mastered.
Really?
It's actually just everything champion that Myrwn has mastered is the way this
A lot of crinkles
works.
on that hat, apparently.
Exactly, yeah. So I think bringing this in, it does mean that, look, you've got the opportunity to go into stealth when Jax goes into the counter strike. You can try and poke him down as well, avoid some of the damage that comes through. And you've also got the opportunity to dash away. It does mean, though, that you are heavily reliant when it comes towards like Elyoya trying to start off these fights alongside Fresskiowy. And as well, I think it does leave you in the later portion of the game where Jax will get a little bit more tanky. Could be a problem for Myrwn, but not a matchup I've seen a huge amount. So that's kind of the way my head's going.
Let's learn together because it's a fun matchup in the top side is the grudge match. I shouldn't call it that, the rivalry there between the two countries. The audience has come out to show their support. I mean, you got to give it to them. The energy here is electric. In all 3 days that we've had of the LEC Winter so far, they have been out in force. And they're shouting at each other, as you can see. So, to the audience out there, all I can say is, vamos, alonze. As we get into this one, let's start it up. KC versus MDK. This one's all about the pride as we run to the end of the day of LEC Winter Week 1.
And I'm delighted you've decided to take the Spanish and French because I'm not going to attempt. I'll go with Irish before I go with either of them. So I'm not going for that one. But Karmine Corp already immediately moving towards this bot side. Supa will spot them out in the bush, be able to walk away. Slow doesn't quite connect, so just spotting exactly how they want to try and approach here. But this, to me, says that Karmine Corp essentially want to set up this early vision on the bottom side. You have the Ashe and Caitlyn, a ton of push, and definitely somewhere that you want to try and play towards. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Bo do some sort of like maybe in one camp, like Raptors into bot side of Mad Lions off of just the initial play, or even just try and continue to split the map so you have those advantages for upset and Targamas.
Because it feels like we're looking at the bottom side, as you were talking about for KC, right? Like, upset is so crucial. We know what Caitlyn does if she doesn't succeed in lane. The answer, not too much. We know that if that Akali top Dagda is punished, then a bit of trouble for Myrwn as well. So a lot of volatile elements on both sides of the rift for this game. A game that matters so much. And you might be sick of hearing me say it, but again, Vedius mentioned yesterday that 4 was kind of that magic number last year in Winter that got teams over the line. KC have had a really rough start, 0-2, because they've run into both G2 and Fnatic in their first week. So it's like, well, how strong really is this team? Now's the time to prove it.
Yeah, and I think for Mad Lions, quite a chance to bounce back from that loss yesterday to SK that they were definitely none too pleased about. So I think both sides going to be trying to step up massively for both of their respective regions. But we'll have to see is Upset and Targamas already starting to get a good amount of poke down. This is exactly what you expect pretty much over the course of this laning phase is the push for Upset and Targamas, trying to get the poke, but surprised to see Bo actually start up on this top side. I thought he'd try and look for an invade as you try and get this like level 2, level 3, because look at where Elyoya is. Elyoya could try and go for a very early gank onto this bot side if he wants to. Vision is there though.
Yeah, as you were saying, it was that early invade, right, that set up the vision that gives a bit of control. And so being able to rely on that for now means Elyoya's path gets a little bit harder as Myrwn, meanwhile, Cabochard winning out in these trades. Dagda, we're learning about this matchup we're seeing because it's very rare. I also want to note that Myrwn has actually gone for the Ignite teleport top side. No flash actually taken here, as Cabochard has that advantage if it comes down to it.
Yeah, does mean he's going to be trying to use that essentially to survive the laning phase. Although Ignite is an aggressive summoner spell, you usually take it into kind of terrible matchups to make sure, hey, look, if this guy goes all in, I got a little bit of extra in the tank to try and take him down. So we'll have to see if Myrwn will end up using that in the long run. Again, has a lot of mobility in this kit, but at the moment, still eyes on bot side. Elyoya moving back up towards his top end of the map, so at the moment, should be able to just trade effectively. No real attention from Bo in the early stages like I expected.
But I want to note some of the warding that's coming through. One expiring as well as Elyoya gets deep into the enemy jungle. Bo going to spot him out here. Look at the information given over to Karmine Corp as Elyoya makes the move, but there's going to be a counterplay. Mad Koi may be moving into a trap here, but instead Karmine Corp giving the information back over that they know.
Yeah, but I think this is going to be a good spot for Bo. You see Supa starting to move across.
Arctic Assault, permafrost. Bo ran into this. He flashes away from the handshake. Alvaro flashed over the wall. The root's still there. Supa sends one over to Isengard for the meantime. Just says a howdy doody. Bo's backing on in. And that's a flash gone. Flash for support in the meantime.
Yeah, Mad Lions Koi were actually able to move over first. Upset didn't end up leaving the wave, so you still kind of end up with this advantage where Elyoya now trying to heavily push that forward. And
gets it.
Nicely done here from Elyoya.
Bo runs on back in. That spear comes through. As Wind begets lightning, Elyoya just runs on out. Targamas can't get the full hail of blades. Alvaro's come in as well. He might have actually walked into a trap, but that handshake may have also saved his life. As Mad Koi have to defend each other here. The follows through. Targamas flashes on in. Alvaro just burned the flash before the damage comes through from an upset. First blood over to Caitlyn bot is a recipe for success for KC.
Really smart flash from Targamas. Knows that he can keep up with that the slows coming through from the auto attacks. Elyoya though will come bow once more. Saken may need to come across to help his mid laner here as Targamas, or jungler, and Targamas is already here as well.
Level 4 achieved. Elyoya ain't going to touch that anymore. As you said, mid could have played a big impact, but they just brush away. Dagda, Caitlyn with a 200 gold lead, sorry, 500, 600 in the bottom side. Dare I say again, that's a good recipe for KC in this early game.
Especially since you're going to get Bo taking second scuttle here. Going to be able to go back in towards his jungle as well. Actually going to go for the reset first. Wasn't sure if he wanted to try and clear this top side initially, but looks like it'll be a top side and then repeat performance in the bot lane.
Handshake. Great roam, Saken. Oh my god, he should be caught out, flashes away. He respects that it was going to be matched.
Yeah, had to flash first because the auto attack from Fresskiowy could have been disaster for Saken, but nice roam from Alvaro coming back off the unfortunate death he had. Just finds that opportunity to pop his head into mid lane and make things happen.
At least has to teleport to get back, but to summon it down, we have to see how it gets punished, if by Mad Koi as well, as Elyoya moves to the top side, but Cabochard is also playing safe. So here in this early game, still belonging to KC, but it's only a 500 gold lead. For Mad Koi, Dagda, we remember, there's going to be a lot about this top side getting through laning phase. A lot about this whole team getting through laning phase as we saw it. And so far, the early game is just that, just one kill. As Upset able to get the nude quiver back from it as well.
I think you need to continue to focus on this bottom side of the map though. Bo, you can see where he is now. He's gone for triple longsword. I nearly would have liked him to pick up a control ward and just try and get some deep vision in towards Elyoya's jungle. I think they're very aware of like when these camps are respawning just off of your first clear, because they kind of have an idea of what Elyoya's initial clear was. So I think you'll get, Raptors cleared out here by the Xin Zhao, and then even just popping your head in, seeing if you can get some sort of vision down. But the lack of a control ward and having your cooldown already taken away for Targamas and that, you're kind of reliant on these hawk shots to spot out exactly what Elyoya is, and I think that's going to come back to bite them here. They just don't have the vision to continue pushing, which is why they're kind of putting on themselves in the back foot here a little bit.
I mean, as they get pushed in, the control ward to spot out and give them some safety. Bo shadowing over. That's a triple longsword Xin Zhao as well, by the way, as Elyoya runs into him, has to back up with his bottom lane. Bo hasn't communicated with bot, and now he just gets absolutely swamped. A kill over to Supa, also big deals. Cabochard, meanwhile, gets flashed on, ignited down, execution! Myrwn is cooking again.
Level 6 for Myrwn, and immediately gets the kill on Cabochard and the advantage onto bot side. This is Mad Lions saying, hang on, we can fight against this early game from Karmine Corp and come out on top.
Dagda, I was warned that his champion pool would be seen at some point. He steps up big, as you're right, trying to punish the flash, meanwhile onto Saken, but Elyoya can't do too much. Saken walks around it, and we definitely have a game. The fans already hyping this one up. They've got so much lungs on them, so many lungs. I'm not sure what the plural
of
lungs.
The lungs.
Lung guys.
The lung guy, yeah. It's like cacti, right? Yeah.
They should be casters as we look at this one again.
But I mean, really nice job from Myrwn, right? The counter-strike goes down, so immediately you can go for the all-in. Gets the ore into the E to get the extra auto-attack damage off as well. Smooth gameplay from Myrwn there. I mean, I think his chef's hat definitely showing in that one.
At least the kiss at the end from the fan, mitigate as well. But huge across the board when you think that Mad Koi got one on their 80 carry. And now Supa actually might be punished here. He's got flash available. Bo in the right place at the right time to try and get one back for KC. Supa buying it off. He's got Severin. Bo flashes under turret. How dangerous is it? The answer is not at all. He survives. And that's good retribution here.
Overextension from Supa on that one. Trying to see if he could get up and push that wave, or at least get some of the CS, but there wasn't really a need for it. And it means that Bo in a position to punish. Going to lose out on a big wave in that bot side. And will again, it's important for Karmine Corp to try and get control on this bot side, because you want this Caitlyn to snowball.
As you said, and you want plates, right? You want to make sure you get 5 plates in the lane. That's true success of a Caitlyn lane as well. Elyoya, while he trades up to the top side, Cabochard gets a bit of information, sees where this Sejuani is, but not in time to stop the takedown of the Grubs. 3 given over. And Dagda, I think with this new mechanic in the game, we have to also talk about the fact that you have a Caitlyn in game. Grubs are so important for KC, right? If you can deny those other 3 as well, you stop that Caitlyn over pushing the lane, getting easy turret plating too. It's something that benefits someone who can push a lane as hard as Caitlyn does.
Yeah, I think the thing is, though, is for Karmine Corp, yes, the grubs will be nice, but I just don't feel like they've been able to establish enough control on the spot side to really make the Caitlyn worthwhile. And I think a huge amount of, as we said, comes back to, hey, how much vision control have you invested here? Basically dark on the bottom side of the map.
Yep.
And I think Elyoya has actually been doing a really good job of punishing that fact, of getting in and saying, hey, look, I'm going to try and push him back. Now, obviously, Supa has died once, but a 500 gold difference isn't anything to really write home about at this stage. You've got a couple of turret plates, but you really need to see it ramped up to 10 here if you want to try and carry through in these early stages and look for a lot of the picks that Karmine Corp are going to rely on in the mid game off of Targamas and Bo working together, maybe having Saken coming in tow as well to establish the control in this bot side jungle that they need.
Well, let's see how Bo moves out. Level 7 now on the Xin Zhao, keeping track because that individual level strength also important. Matching Elyoya, but still has the Tunneler and double longsword. It's got a lot of damage. We'll see if Bo can transition some of that damage to Dragon Pick, because MDK is starting this off, first Dragon of the game.
Targamas does end up eating the handshake. Wasn't sure if they were going to try and blast code him over the wall or anything funky there, but not actually going to be the case. Instead, MDK, nice pick up with the Dragon. I think the real objective I'm going to keep my eyes on, though, is how we see both teams play for a Rift Herald. Because I think that's going to be, with already 2 plates taken on the spot side, the big one that we're focusing on. But Elyoya and Bo once more meeting on the spot side as Targamas and Upset crash the wave.
Might as well live down here at this point. I mean, the junglers have just, again, paid attention to what they should be doing in this game. As Elyoya gets forced away, Upset can't still set up. Let's try English again. Step up to the turret. I can't speak Spanish, I can't speak French, and apparently I can't speak English either.
It's a tough one, man. It's tough, you know? There's a lot of languages that are being thrown around here. A lot of words, especially if you look at Twitter, but it's the fisticuffs that really matter in this one, and we're already getting into it. I think Karmine Corp again. Stormrazor now complete on towards Upset. He's going to be in a much better position just if he can get some of these auto attacks alongside Targamas, get the slows, try and chase people down this lane. But again, it's kind of a slow pace where you're not getting huge amounts. So if you're if you're Mad Lions, you're pretty happy with the way this is going. Like, your Aphelios is getting time to scale. You're not being punished for the weaker jungle 1v1. And Supa, we'll call it a sidestep, but
a bit of both.
But a bit of both, yeah. And now Elyoya again, just on this bottom side to cover as the wave crashes.
At the very least, you've still got that warding there from KC. You know it's coming. Upset just gets some free damage off as well. He's doing a bit with this, I almost called it Storm Surge Dagger, Storm Raider. Am I correct, or am I just getting it wrong again?
Storm Razors. You're all good.
Storm Raiders, I call it. I'm just changing item names now as well, but still, a lot of damage is the point. As you can see, Upset dishing it out. Supa doesn't have his first, but onto Targamas, he threatens. That's some good trading as well. Well, for the first time in a while, Bo's actually not bot Dagda.
He's going to try and go for top. A quick blue ward there from Myrwn to spot out if he was in trouble, and the answer was very much yes. So good call, good spidey senses from him to keep himself safe. But I think that's kind of the call from Bo, is like, look, I've been bot side so often here, I'm not really able to achieve particularly much, but it does let himself at least some of these top side camps. So he's getting something over Elyoya, but if Elyoya is a couple of camps behind, it's not the end of the world.
Sejuani, right? Yeah. I mean, again, we're not talking about a Bruiser, we're talking about a Frank the Tank. Midge the Fridge. I'm trying to think of names that rhyme with Fridge. If you can help me out there, that'd be great. But Elyoya is still, as you said, role player in this game. And I think the biggest thing about topside we need to remember is that is a 20 CS off Akali. Storm Surge picked up, and Cabo, solo killed earlier on in the lane. Myrwn's been doing pretty good here on this very surprised top lane Akali. And I feel like with that strength in top Dagda, Mad are transitioning to 6 crabs that are going to be taken down, while KC tries something in the bottom side with Supa sidestepping again.
Yeah, Supa feed here, but has the heal. Can Bo get the knock up?
He gets it again. Titanic strong, and Bo makes it known. 2-1 there for the Xin Zhao. The trade-off is Void Might's going to be spawning for Mad this game. Let's see if it's worth it in the long run.
Well, the problem is that Upset is going to get another plate on the spot side. He's going to extend the lead there. Could easily be 2. I think I'd like to see them reset and try and commit for Rift Herald, but Cabo now in trouble as well.
Is this greedy, Dagda? I want to know, because 2 versus 1. There's the prison down. Myrwn does the damage, but Cabo's out, but the Shuriken flip. Good dodge. Cabochard buys time, and Saken will not forsake his top laner. It becomes a trade in the end, only just, but at least Azir's there to give you a big bear hug.
It's a massive trade back for Karmine Corp, because they go 1 for 1. Still get the wave, and Supa's gone!
He never left. flashes away. That's one summoner down, but is the trade-off going to be too big? The ulti comes through. Bo is going to buy some time with this as well. Supa might be able to do some damage eventually, but the Pop Blossom on the edge finds it. And Fresskiowy gets a big shutdown with Bo trying to be a sneaky man.
Fresskiowy pipped him on the edge of that, and then as well, having that hostile takeover come over the top. But now, Saken in trouble. He has flash, no Emperor's Divide.
The pace of this game is stepping up massively. That teleport though on a ward, Saken sticks his thumb in the air. He sees that one on a ward miles away.
This still should give them an opportunity to go towards that Rift Tail, but watch the plays from Cabochard. This is why he was such a menace in the LFL and the EMEA Masters. So immediate damage comes through, he's got the counter strike to keep it safe. Stuns up Elyoya, so Elyoya has to leave because he's tanky. Flashes, as you say. That last little knock up, though, not quite enough to keep him alive. Cabo played that beautifully, and you can see Yamato and the coaching staff very happy with that one.
Oh, I love it. I mean, again, there's so much on the line for this matchup. It's just regional pride, but it still matters so much. In the grand scheme of Winter 2, as the arrow comes out, the Supa takes a heavy trade from Saken. This is a mismatch of a lane. It's Saken and Targamas together, while MDK have to play on the edge.
At what point do we start to call him Targamas? Because he's been 0-3 so far. It hasn't been the best.
It's early game, Dagda. It's early game. And look, it's Ashe arrow. 60 seconds. Going to get down to 50. It's going to get down to 30, realistically. We know that Targamas has still got a lot in him this game, and I think more importantly, KC, despite the early game, we're like, well, it's a bit back and forth. They are up 2,000 gold, 2K gold, but going to be down 2 dragons as they come late to this one.
I do like the idea, though, of Madline's taking the dragon here, just using the fact that they had a nice reset timer. Because honestly, I don't think Karmine Corp should have upset and Targamas in the mid lane right now. I'd actually much prefer to see them just keeping Saken in this mid lane, rotating upset and Targamas to the top side and swapping Cabo down, because you have the Rift Herald up here, you already have the advantage, but it's so much easier for Supa to clear out these waves in the shorter lane and not be under too much pressure. Actually looks like, though, they're trying to fully commit onto Fresskiowy in the bot lane, but he's already pieced out.
Bo is just abusing this blue side right now and getting behind where this first turret was. I think, Dagda, further to your point, I mean, getting Cabochard out of this lane, right? Again, this Akali's had such free time. Getting him out of this lane state might have been a big bonus for KC.
But this is the mistake here, right? Because now you've committed Karmine Corp to the bottom side of the map to pick Fresskiowy. Fresskiowy, great read. Pulls off, says, look, I don't need to be up far. The tower's already gone, I can just clear into my tower. And this lets Elyoya pick up the Rift Herald. Rift Herald here would have been incredible to try and even take a mid lane tower or put pressure onto top side, unlock this upset and Targamas opportunities to start looking for picks, but now instead it's going to be top lane falling because Myrwn is doing a great job up against Cabochard in this matchup. You're going to be able to use the Rift Herald in mid to actually start to put pressure onto Karmine Corp, and then suddenly it's Karmine Corp are on the back foot and not being able to play for picks or for anything else with upsets.
Integrating the 2 games there is MDK also going to pick up another objective. I think the biggest thing is, as Bo comes in for the steal, is that all objectives, bar that turret as the arrow flies out, have gone to this team as Myrwn says go on to Targamas. Just takes him out, but now he needs to get on out. Perfect execution, but it's right into a teleport. TPP, but saved away by Alvaro. That's a beautiful holding for Cabochard. Gets a double stun, but the Pop Blossom zones him out. Now he's isolated. KC, speaking of which, are going to be separated, but upset trying to come through. Nets over the wall. Alvaro, the next target, flushes out. They're matched by Bo, but a handshake won't be good enough for a sealed deal. KC will pick up some off the back of it, but Dagda, you got to remember, Herald goes over to Mad.
But this could have been beautiful for Karmine Corp. The collapse was great, but look at where Upset is. He's got to try and make his whole way up through this river as this fight is kicking off. You've got the same with the Azir, who tries to come in, and look, it is a great stun that comes through from Targamas, and the follow-up then coming through in just a moment, but Targamas ends up falling because Myrwn goes over the wall. The TP then comes through from Cabo, and it sets up beautifully, but again, look at where your 2 damage dealers are. They're right the way down on this bottom side. You're still waiting for them to try and come in. And now, it's just falling back for Mad Lions Koi, where they're picking off members of Karmine Corp. And look, you will get 1 kill on the backside of this. But Karmine Corp, you need to wait for your squad to be in position.
Yep. All you get is Alvaro off the back end of it, Dagda. As you said, could have been so much better. You look at the goal, still 2K by Karmine Corp, but you're back and forth on that, aren't you? Because Mad are about to get this mid lane turret. Boom! 1 down, 1K down as well. And here we go for another charge. Upset, you're in the way. And some good damage as well. Remember, you have Aphelios with red and white. Everything's all right. So the gold is clawing back.
And you got a bot lane tower that's ready and waiting.
There you go.
Cabo has to back it off. They can't do anything about this.
Ulti comes through. I mean, this is huge. Fresskiowy! The Polish Thunder comes through, but Bo negates it, finds a kill. It's a trade for jungler, though, as the range is absolutely massive. Supa won't get his last hit on upset. That could have sealed the deal there, too. A 1-for-1. The fire continues to burn in this game.
The thing is, though, it's a 1-for-1 trade. Tier 2 for Tier 1. So in the grand scheme of things, not the worst of trades for Karmine Corp when it comes to the entire map. That could have been so much worse if Bo hadn't been able to get the members of Mad Lions Koi back from that initial engage. You'll see it here as it comes in onto your screens. Like, great play from Fresskiowy here. Sets up, has the flash to come through. But Bo getting that knockback on towards the rest of Mad Lions Koi means they just can't quite follow up in the choke point. And is able to kind of beat back Mad Lions Koi, so it is just the 1-for-1. As you do trade a Tier 2 tower up. So honestly, it's kind of all right for Karmine Corp.
The emotional roller coaster. For both these squads, both these fan bases, it's up and down, it's up and down. Let me provide you with a bit of fun here. It's been up and down, yes, mainly for KC through this game, but it keeps showing moments here for Mad as well. Double Dragon picked up a lot of objectives. Remember, they're the ones who got the 6 Void Grubs. They are 20 seconds away from challenging to moving to a Soul Point, with Baron also as a repeat objective, or rather response objective, Dagda, as Myrwn is pushed up heavily. I'm not sure, Dagda, how does he get out? It is Akali, he's bopped back for the time being, hasn't hit Saken just yet. Won't take a turret shot until he's all the way out, but he's just autoed down to death. That's a shutdown as well. That Akali was huge, and he just gave Saken so much gold.
And it's right as Inferno Dragon spawns as well. That could have been the 3rd dragon, a potential play for Mad Lions Koi, but instead, Karmine Corp get pushing mid. They've snubbed out that pressure on the top side for Mad Lions Koi, and TP now from Saken to the mid lane, just to guarantee that they can get pushing. I mean, they could look for this mid lane turn off the back of it as well. Myrwn might have to TP to try and save this.
See if he burns it. He's got 15 seconds till he's alive. Saken as arrow. Flying just in case it is a Baron angle. I respect it from Targamas. Dagda, I have to say, Azir so far in our first week of LEC have been nuts. The damage has been nuts. We're going to see it again as Saken was kind of giving this one from Myrwn, not paying respect.
Yeah. Great reading. Absolutely incredible job here from Saken. Gets the knockback on Myrwn. Myrwn is taking so much damage to slow off that Q as well, just keeping him so he's not really in a position to try and trade it. Saken, I mean, look at the Karmine Corp fans there. That is incredible, and they know it. This is Saken, not the best of game ones. Those initial 10 to 15 minutes were a bit scrappy, but that is a play and a half to make on the stage.
That was the Valorant players there, so we're crossbreeding a bit and getting excited for both. I will say, as we get into this mid-game, Dagda, as we continue funneling through with Baron now staring us in the face, as we get closer and closer to finding out what a team fight looks like, we are hitting the 2nd item power spike for a lot of these players. Infinity Edge picked up for upset. Also note that we're sitting on a Sundered Sky for Bo as well. What else across the board? We've got crit damage now applied for Myrwn with the new Shadow Flame. There is a lot of burst actually on Summoner's Rift right now.
I think the big thing that I'm noticing though is just Mad Lions Koi are fearless now at this stage. You got Supa who's got the Collector coming through now. He's like, and also sorry, the Stormrazor Surge as well, or Stormrazor as well. He's going to be in a good spot, so you can start to be aggressive in these team fights. Yep. You've got a strong front line with Elyoya, Myrwn as well, hovering off to the side. I like his positioning, so I think Karmine Corp, you can kind of see they're scared. They know that Mad Lions Koi have good control over the map, and they can't really push up into a position where they can threaten this last outer tower.
Side note, that ward's still in the brush. Remember, it's a longer brush now. Control ward not going to spot it out, I believe, from what we can see in an observer's angle. So KC going to walk through. Now clear that away. Look for some picks here and see if they can get Mad Koi separated. Because there's a long timer. We've got 3 minutes towards the Dragon. We've still got this mid turret up that is so pesky for KC to try and open the map.
Yeah, you need these mid towers, or mid lanes, side lanes pushed out before you can really try and attack this mid lane. You can see already Saken's moved up, you've got Cabo starting to move down, but Mad Lions Koi have been doing a good job of pushing in these side lanes and making sure that they're not really in a position to group as 5. Pick potential just to check out if the Baron is being started, but you can see Karmine Corp are very aware this map is dark and they're not really sure where the members of MDK are.
I like that Supa's hovering behind the wall. He ain't showing. His information gained, his information gathered here for KC. As they continue to hover over the river, we are just chilling. we're just vibing, I feel like, until this next Dragon, unless anyone missteps that leads to a Baron. I mean, there's so much tension because I feel like, you know, from both fan bases, from both countries, there's a lot on the line for this one, even if it's just regional pride.
And I think, as you say, the rematch for EMEA Masters is the big one too.
That too,
Karmine Corp were able to take it, but Movistar Riders were not able to take that one home for Spain. And here, Fresskiowy, Supa and Alvaro looking to see if they can right the wrongs that they experienced on that day. So they're looking towards the Baron, but I don't think they have enough control. They have a lot of damage, and they're just going to start it up. Fresskiowy spotting out where Karmine Corp are.
10 seconds till that arrow's up on Targamas. Keep an eye on that one at 9k, and look at the gun selection. This is so sneaky as Baron pulls him back in. Bo is now here, though, at 5k. MDK trying to pull away, but the arrow comes through and hits hard while Cabo and Myrwn hit on the side, but the ulti's beautiful. Fresskiowy runs on in as it's huge. Saken is down. MDK have 5 members, but on the backside, watch for Myrwn again. Akali does it right. It's now for the Renata passive, looks for Bo. Won't find it in the end. They get a kill on KC, but they've had to run away. They have lost their most important player in the mid lane.
It's Saken down, Targamas down. The turn from Madline's Koi was so good, but Elyoya getting that ultimate onto Saken as he just takes that one misstep wrong. They get 2 picks, but it does stop the Baron. We'll have a look at it off the back of this. Saken's trying to spot out where the hell MDK are. They see them, and then just look at that. Fresskiowy pips him with the Q, which then means that the Banshee's Veil is down, and they can set up for the cover with the ultimate from the Renata over the top as well to keep them all in check. Myrwn is taking Cabochard out right before he goes in with the R2 to finish off Targamas as well.
Myrwn is playing on a nice edge, close to getting the reset here, but I think more importantly, MDK are playing on that edge with their team fighting so far. They pick up the kills, and they pick up an opportunity to move towards this Dragon next with a little bit more gold than they would have had. Heading towards 3 items here, almost avoid stuff up in that top side for Myrwn. His ulti up in 5 seconds as well. KC hovering around the Baron, they've cleared the vision. Saken is starting this one up. They will do this quick with an Azir, and look at Mad coming into Fog of War.
They need to get the turn though. TP from Myrwn onto the back end. They want to try and cut them off here.
Gonna be spotted out. There's Ace in the hole. Saken chasing him up. Level 16 versus level 15. Saken is huge. This is here on top of you is going to be rough as we look somewhere else, but we want to see this 1v1 turning into 1v2. Upsets, damage, also massive, but Myrwn got a big task to play as Cabochard stops the reinforcement, but Myrwn finds a kill! How does he do it? Makes it a 1-for-1. That was insane, Akali play. As KC now have to play off the back foot. Upset's not there, but they still have more as Elyoya snipes the ulti. Saken now sniped himself. Fresskiowy with a 2-man. KC separated. They run into the jaws of the Mad Lions. Hear them, fear them. It is Mad who find the advantage against France.
And they will find the Baron off the back of it as well. Madline's Koi playing it slow. Myrwn buying the time. They pick upset, and they might have just picked up the win with that team fight as well.
This talented roster coming out of nowhere, Dagda. I apologize for putting them in C tier. What more can you ask for as we see this drawn-out fight take place again?
And you can see they chase onto Myrwn on this top side, but there is a second skirmish that is happening on the spot end. Cabochard gets confused by the wall, the new map, doesn't really know how to try and get in here, and Upset just gets too close to Myrwn. Really good job, dodges away from the Peacekeeper and is able to get out of that. And now Fresskiowy, look at his position here for Supa. Supa has been protected by Elyoya, protected by Fresskiowy, and they're waiting for Karmine Corp to commit onto this. Poke Saken out, Bo goes in. Fresskiowy immediately keeps them at bay, but they might have to do it again as Dragon now has been taken by MDK.
Oh, we're fighting again. We're getting exactly what in this matchup. Cabochard in with a 2-man stun. Supa gets hit in the backline with Ace in the hole, but Cabo can't finish the job. Look at the guns, look at the Aphelios time. Bo runs in as well, but super hot fire is breathing that out.
Madline's Koi are coming alive in the LEC. Supa is on an absolute tear with this team playing so well to keep him alive. And now with Baron up creeps, with towers falling, Madline's Koi will crack open the base of the French representatives.
It's only a 3K gold lead, but the base is in tatters. Say what you want about either of these teams. This has been an entertaining one, Dagda. It's delivered on multiple levels. The Baron power play is also delivered in the tune of 3.5k, and Mad now with an open base have an advantage in this game that would lead them to 2 and get them a massive win against what people thought was the top 4.
Mad Lions Koi, they had to play the early game slow, keep Karmine Corp at bay, but the second they feel strong, they immediately pounce. Cabo tries to get onto Supa, the cleanse comes through, Saken does steal the dragon, but I mean, you're happy enough as Mad Lions Koi. You've already got Supa in a great position. Bo goes in just to get a little bit extra into the Mad Lions Koi's pockets, and now with mid cracked open, I wouldn't be surprised to see Myrwn start to move over to that, push in alongside Fresskiowy, just try and get some of these outer turrets finally down and in their favor. Myrwn actually going to stick with the crew. Starts to wrap behind, but upsets, botting him out.
But don't sleep on Saken. As Targamas' arrow goes up, Saken is the shining light for KC. If those French fans want a victory here, I think you look towards the mid lane and you see what this Rabadon's Azir can do. Still up 1,200 gold over Fresskiowy on the other side. While Fresskiowy's ult have been huge, it is up to Saken to send MDK into the grey screen.
Karmine Corp still trying to find those moments to come back though. Cabochard keeping the wave at arm's length, seeing if maybe he can find that flank angle or at least stop the pushes from MDK coming in hot. Karmine Corp, they still have a lot in the tank. I mean, look, 3 items onto the Azir. Upset now, starting to do a lot of damage as well. Had to do a quick hit stop for the Hex Drinker, which isn't going to help him when it comes to damage. But I still think that with how powerful Azir is on this patch, there's a lot that Saken can do here. And it hasn't been the first time that Karmine Corp have put their faith in this mid laner, and he has answered rightfully. But with how strong MDK are, it feels like a very, very hard call for Karmine Corp to make.
And I think the concern I have at this point, Dagda, is upset versus Supa, right? The Aphelios is 3 items, 3 and a bit. Moving on to his 4th, of course. Upset, you know, might not have his 3rd item, but we're getting past that point where the Caitlyn is going to be relevant into picks like the Sejuani we know, and how she can actually get involved in some of these fights.
Yeah, I mean, you are getting, in about an item and a half, you'll hit the point where Upset just really does damage with these headshots.
Okay.
And like the 6-item Caitlyn, 5-item Caitlyn's do work.
Very true,
but
actually.
It is kind of tough to get to that point, because as you can see, you're already having a lot of onslaught coming through from MDK, all grouped up, looking for this bot lane tower.
Watch for Supa's summoners. He still doesn't have his flash up and available. They sit in grey right now, as well as Targamas takes a bit of damage. And you can see that threat is very, very real. Sitting in the inner and the bot side, you can see mid. This is actually a 2-man stack for the time being. Excuse me, only 1. It was a fake Akali. Fresskiowy holds away, pushes it in. There's Supas that have to be dealt with by Karmine Corp. And you look at the bottom side, Dagda. Mad are using this to their advantage.
There's the arrow. Swing and a miss once more. Opens up the tower then. Immediately MDK are going to start to go for it.
Ulti is huge as well. Back sends them Saken. Fresskiowy doesn't get the ulti, but as they run on in, you can see Bo wants it, but Myrwn finds the back line. Again, what a threat. He's at half HP, finds his way out, not until Upset deals with him though. Range is there as Supa tries to get a return, but Cabo survives. KC trading up, losing their turret. As long as they don't lose the Nexus turret here, doesn't feel too bad.
Neo's just fallen a bit short for MDK. Alvaro not connecting. Targamas, you need to be careful, bud.
He's trying to stop the backs, but he's just going to get 1 shot. Targamas running through, gives Supa another kill. Dagda, you look at the timer, it coincides with the dragon being up in 40 seconds.
I don't know what the thought was. Maybe he was like, I can stop them, force weird reset timers, and maybe we can try and contest for dragon, but it ends up giving his life, and now you've got a kill on the support as you've got the dragon coming up, as you've got the Baron just a couple of seconds after that as well. And you can see here, Terror does fall, and Alvaro immediately throws out the hostile takeover to try and get on towards Saken, but really good ult from Saken, just about able to get away, and Bo finds space as well, so they can try and force space as Myrwn dives into the back line. But again, you're just not quite able to get enough onto the Karmine damage in the back line.
Yep.
And Myrwn ends up falling, and Targamas as well. So kind of answered in the back.
Yes, it also answers your question from before, at least your statement, that this Caitlyn still will be relevant on the specific target. Seeing now Myrwn, damage huge. Now with the Bloodthirster as well, so sitting on a high portion of health is going to matter a lot as Baron respawns. Dagda, Myrwn's here ready. You're going to have to walk me through the setup.
Myrwn is a great flank position. Targamas out of position completely.
And he's found. I mean, again, the ulti's going to come through. Elyoya forces his flash, but is it going to be a ruse at 5k? The Baron going down so quick. Mad Koi have to come off the back foot, but Alvaro's ulti stalls him. Hits Cabochard. Bo's hit as well. Elyoya running in as Myrwn. It's a pain in the bum, but at 3k, it's huge. Just second ulti for his dying breath, but you're right. Again, it's super hot fire as he runs forward for his Quadra. Targamas stands in the way. It's Pentarangle here in the rivalry that everyone's been talking about. when it's Spain versus France. Supa roars with a pentakill.
Supa will not be denied. EMEA Masters was a flash in the pan. He wants to be the AD carry on everyone's lips. He wants to bring home the victory for Spain.
Revenge is served here, but not at EMEA Masters, Dagda. In LEC Winter, at the end of week number 1, you may have doubted Mad, but take their name out of your mouth and put in the Lion's Roar instead.
An incredible performance from Mad Lions Koi, coming in with a beautiful early game, shutting down Karmine Corp on that bottom side, making sure Bo wasn't able to assist them, and then getting to those 2-item Aphelios, getting to those late game team fights, and finding the victory that they needed to bring home for Spain.
When it's against upset, man, that's an impressive performance. Idolize that man, but now Supa as well as, ladies and gentlemen, our key player of the game at LEC on X. You know the drill. You know who you're voting for. You saw it on the bottom of your screen. I have to say, Dagda, there's one man who's going to get it. It's Supa. Let's be real. Let's be real. He deserves it.
100%. I am so glad to see Supa coming into the LEC, because we talked him up saying, look, there were 2 AD carries from the EMEA Masters that were on the lips of everyone. It was Supa and Calist.
Yep.
Calist was on Karmine Corp, but not able to make it to the main stage just yet. But Supa showing why he was so touted. And now we will toss it over to the stage to hear to Elyoya, who bigged up this AD carry and support.
Big indeed.
Thank you very much, guys. It has been an incredible atmosphere from both sides, from the fans. Elyoya, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
You are not allowed to lose today.
Yeah, I mean, I think today, as you can see,
I love it. You saw all the banter and everything on social media and how excited people were. But even the players, even the orgs.
Well, I think it just shows.
I don't know how we're going to go through the interview, honestly. How does it make you feel to see this kind of mood in the studio?
Really
because,
good.
you've been playing for years. This is the first time we have this, right?
It's so crazy.
Mike?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so crazy that this is the crowd now.
I know.
Like, this feels so much better than past years, you know?
Yeah.
Like, just having this, you know?
Is it
like,
motivating you?
Yeah,
when you play on stage,
it's really
knowing that they're
motivating.
going to cheer for you?
Like, having either this and like this, it's just really good for both, you know? I don't even mind getting booed.
Right.
I don't even mind losing yesterday. I think it just gives much more life to, like, all of these things, you know?
Honestly,
like, I think it's just better for the esports.
It's better for the esports, it's better for the fan experience. We want this every week, please come. As so many of you guys every week would be amazing. But I want to follow up on the Mad Lions Koi project and ask you actually, because when I talked to your support, I mentioned the fact that people did not believe in you, and something you said that I found really interesting was, you know what? They'll see on the Rift. We'll see on stage what we're capable of, and we will prove people wrong. Are you happy of the first steps of your team, Elyoya, so far?
I think it could have been much better. I think yesterday's loss was really disappointing because we know we are a much better team than what we showed. But I think for a first week for rookies, it was quite fine.
It was quite fun, and especially... Thank you, fans. I remember when you came to the LEC, you were the rookie within Mad Lions, actually. Today, it's like the Ninja Turtles meme. I don't know if you know it, but you're the big guy. You're the big guy taking care of the kids, and I know that this is a project you are passionate about. Tell me about playing with these guys, choosing them, and helping them getting ready for the LEC stage.
I think they have been doing quite well, as I said. Like, I haven't even helped them that much. They are already quite insane. So it just feels really good to be surrounded by them and to be able to play these games, you know?
From rookie Elyoya to leader Elyoya, it's amazing to see your evolution, honestly. I want you to say something to them, honestly. You earned this victory. Do you want to say anything to the fans who came to cheer for you today? Guys, please.
I mean, this is fine. I even like this. I like this too.
All right.
So I think it's
I'll
okay.
let you go free. But if you want to say anything to the fans who've been
I mean, I want to say something to the fans and also to the haters. honestly, keep it up. I think it's making LEC way more fun for everyone, so keep it up, you know. We all enjoy this. This is much better, so I think no one dislikes this.
No, we all enjoy it. It makes the LEC better in the end. Elyoya, gracias por la entrevista. Thank you so much. Congrats on taking down Casey today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to the fans, of course, for the amazing mood we had today. And we're going to take a short break and come back for Game 5 of this week 1 of LEC Summer. Stay tuned.
The follow through, Targamas flashes on in Alvaro. Just burned the flash before the damage comes through from an upset. First flight over to a Caitlyn bot. A kill over to Supa, also big deals. Cabochard the meanwhile gets flashed on, ignited down. Execution! Myrwn is cooking again.
Level 6 for Myrwn and immediately gets the kill on Cabochard.
Time to try and get one back for KC. Supa buying it off. He's got Severin. Bow flashes under turret. How dangerous is it? The answer is not at all. He survives. In the rivalry that everyone's been talking about when it's Spain versus France, Supa roars with a pentakill.
Red Bull gives you wings.